Topics for Us presents How to Win Every Argument, Even When You Are Wrong. To win an argument, we must think about the process as an art, not a battle. The goal should be to present your viewpoint in the most compelling way possible while still giving respect for differing opinions. Whether you're in a casual conversation or a more formal debate, these tips can significantly increase your chances of having a persuasive and successful argument. Now, let's begin our discussion. Number 1, stay calm and composed. If you let your emotions dictate the conversation, you'll come off as reactive rather than rational. This means that you can't be taken seriously because you try to have a quick comeback with your emotions escalating. When you stay composed, you appear confident, in control, and more trustworthy. When emotions rise during an argument, take a deep breath and refocus on the facts. Emotional outbursts often weaken your argument and make it difficult for the other person to take you seriously. Number 2, active listening. An argument isn't just about speaking, it's about listening too. You want to make sure you understand the person's perspective fully before you respond. Now, this is not always easy as it sounds. According to Psychology Today, about 96% of people think they're good listeners. Yet people only remember about half of what others say. This is because we are distracted, thinking about how we're going to respond, which can lead to misunderstandings. Remember, you can demonstrate that you respect others' viewpoints by listening. Listening carefully can also help you identify weak spots in their argument that you can address without appearing aggressive. Number 3, use facts and evidence. An argument based purely on opinion rarely convinces anyone. To sway others, back up your points with facts, statistics, and logical reasoning. Whenever possible, refer to credible sources or examples that support your stance. When you present solid evidence, it shifts the conversation from an emotional exchange to a rational discussion. Number 4, stay on topic. Arguments often go off track when one party introduces irrelevant points or distracts from the main issue. Stay focused on the subject at hand. If the conversation starts to drift, gently steer it back to the original topic. You should always avoid the temptation to engage in side issues, as they can muddy your argument and cause confusion. Number 5, avoid personal attacks. The minute you make your argument personal, you lose the moral high ground. Personal attacks, insults, or name-calling will only escalate the situation and make it harder to convince the other person of your point. Instead, critique the argument or position that they are trying to make, but not the person. Respectful disagreement is far more persuasive than attacking someone. Number 6, be aware of logical fallacies. Logical fallacies are flaws in reasoning that undermine an argument. These are those persuasive techniques that people use to try and trick you into believing or doing something. For instance, you don't want to spend $110 for those new shoes, but your friend reminds you that everyone has them and you don't want to be left out. Or you want to try some new equipment at the office, but your manager says that everyone prefers the old equipment, so you don't make any changes. If you recognize the other person relying on fallacies, point them out, and remember to avoid using them in your own argument. If you can avoid these, you can maintain your credibility and increase your chances of convincing others. Number 7, choose the right time and place. The environment in which you argue plays a critical role in how successful you are. Arguments that began in public or are under time pressure often transform into emotional exchanges that don't resolve the underlying issues. For a productive discussion, choose a setting where both parties can be calm and focus on the conversation. A quiet, private space is ideal for thoughtful debate. If you're at work, take some time to set an appointment with your boss to address an issue. Trying to have an element of surprise never guarantees that you're going to win your main points. Number 8, be open to compromise. Winning an argument doesn't necessarily mean having your way completely. If you can find a middle ground, it shows that you're reasonable and willing to cooperate. This is the power of compromise. Think about this. A study from the National Library of Medicine found that over 60% of individuals were persuaded and changed their opinion because of the effects of compromise. Being flexible can even improve your relationship with the person you're arguing with. When you show a willingness to compromise, you're more likely to be seen as a fair and balanced individual. Number 9, use strategic silence. Sometimes the best response to an argument is no response at all. When someone makes a point you disagree with, pause for a moment before responding. Silence gives you time to think and forces the other person to reflect on what they've just said. A well-timed pause can be just as powerful as a well-crafted rebuttal. Number 10, maintain a positive attitude. Arguing with someone doesn't mean that you have to be tense or hostile in the situation. Approach the conversation with a positive attitude, even if you disagree strongly. Smile and use humor, and keep the tone friendly. A positive demeanor encourages open communication and can soften the intensity of a disagreement. People are more likely to be persuaded by someone who remains gracious and level-headed, even in disagreement. Remember, winning an argument is less about being dominating, but more about presenting yourself logically and respectfully in order to persuade the other individual. You can improve your chances of success in any debate by following our tips. With these strategies in mind, you'll be better equipped to engage in productive and convincing arguments. Do you agree with our list? Let us know down in the comments. What are some ways you've won an argument? If you found our video helpful, consider leaving us a like and subscribing to our channel. And remember, always keep believing in yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.